N'Faly Dante, NBA Draft Scouting Report. Dante was a super productive big man for the Oregon Ducks this season. Really surprising numbers when you actually go look at them because Oregon wasn't very good. And I feel like nobody in the country really paid attention to what N'Faly was doing. He slots in at 52nd on our big board, which is right where you ranked him, Brian. I had him 65th. So I mocked him out of the range of selections in this draft. You might have to talk me into N'Faly Dante being worth a second round selection here. Let's get to our categories. What is one word to describe N'Faly Dante?
I put hope because when he is healthy, he was awesome for Oregon. It was a start of a lot of seasons, and then he got hurt and had missed some games. Really, the end of this past season was a time where we saw him be the only time in his college career he was really healthy at the end of a season. And the end result was him like setting NCAA tournament records for blocks and rebounds and points in the paint and doing things that other guys hadn't done. Part of that was him going up against my South Carolina Gamecocks and that just being what happens to South Carolina. But he was a force at the end of the Pac-12 season, the Pac-12 tournament, then the NCAA tournament as well. If Oregon had somebody other than him and Jermaine Cousinard, they probably would have made the second weekend. They probably would have upset Creighton in that game and made the second weekend. But you just hope he stays healthy because he hasn't been able to, right? So I think there's still this idea that he can be great or can be a very good player. He has shown the talent and the ability to. He hasn't been able to maintain that.
I went better as my word because I look at his college career, 5 years at Oregon. He kept getting better. Like he was injured, but he went from 5 points to 8 points to 13 points to 17 points a game. It's like where will the leap stop? If he had a sixth year in college, would he be 24 a game next season? I don't know. But he needs to keep getting better. That's the word for me when you talk NBA. Like if N'Faly Dante is what he was in Oregon this last year in the league, I don't think he's in the league. I think he needs to continue to get better, stay healthy, and maybe that comes or maybe it doesn't. Let's get to the next one. Floor or ceiling? What is N'Faly Dante more likely to hit in the NBA?
I think he's more likely to hit his floor because of his health. If he stays healthy, I think he's more likely to hit his ceiling because there is, I think, more mobility there than we thought there would be, given his injury history. So I think if he's healthy, the ceiling, but I don't trust him, unfortunately. Like it's not anything he can do about it. It's a bad situation. But if he can't stay healthy, I think he's obviously more likely to hit his floor.
I went floor as well, and it's even without considering the injuries, but with the injuries, I think you have to say floor. I just think there's not many like ground bound centers that are N'Faly Dante's size that work in the NBA. That's not their game. You got to have some post up stuff. To me, he's just the uber productive, like Oscar Tshiebwe, Kofi Coburn type that it's probably not going to lead to an NBA career. Best team fit. What would be the best spot for N'Faly Dante?
I think the Denver Nuggets. They're picking the end of the second round. Just having him back there as being somebody who can provide some rim protection. Obviously, Nikola Jokic is not a good defender at all. So just having an option off the bench who can provide some rim protection, can be a lob threat, not somebody who needs to score to make an impact on games. It's kind of who the Nuggets, I think, could use in their rotation. So I think that would be a good spot for him.
I said the New York Knicks. If Isaiah Hartenstein can become who he's become, couldn't N'Faly Dante just like rim run and rebound the piss out of the ball, and like Jalen Brunson just makes it super easy on him? Like that's all I could think of when I was trying to envision like what is a scenario where Dante's working and proves me wrong. I think landing on the Knicks would give him a chance to try.
Though I pray for his knees if Tibbs is his coach.
Oh my God, that's so true. Never mind. That's the worst team fit. Peak year stats. What's the best year of N'Faly Dante's career look like statistically?
I think it's like 6-6 with 2 blocks.
I said 4 points, 3 rebounds, 42% from the free throw line. It's a big red flag of N'Faly's game that we have not acknowledged yet. In 5 years, where is N'Faly? He could be all NBA and all-star, a starter, a bench guy, a G leaguer, overseas, or a podcaster.
I think he's overseas. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if he either gets drafted and then doesn't necessarily sign a deal, has a two-way deal, ends up overseas, and then comes back to the NBA, or starts in the NBA G League, goes overseas, and comes back. But I think 5 years from now, he's going to be in that overseas stint.
I put the G League. I don't know why. It's to me it's that or overseas, and for some reason it just feels like a guy who like bounces around G League teams and has productive seasons. But I don't have much good reason for it. I don't think it'll be anywhere on an NBA roster though. With all due respect to N'Faly, you got to prove me wrong. Most likely to out of every player in this draft class, N'Faly Dante is the most likely to do what?
I hate that I'm doing this because I feel like I'm making fun of this with him, and I do not mean to. I think he's the most likely to wear a mask all the time, like Rip Hamilton.
I mean, yeah,
Like it ties in with the health thing. I think like I hope this doesn't happen, but he strikes me as somebody who like gets a broken orbital bone or something, wears the mask and just decides, you know what, F it. We're doing this.
Yeah, now I want to change mine. My original answer was N'Faly Dante is the most likely to shoot 30% from the free throw line for a season.
Well, that's
But
also accurate.
it could happen. I'm also going to change that. And now this is getting meaner because we're just doubling down on the injuries. N'Faly Dante is most likely to have an injury that ends up named after him. Like
Yeah.
20 years from now, it's like, oh, that's the Dante break or something. And I don't wish this on him, but
No.
now can I take that
Some,
back?
yeah, let's do the 30% free throw shooting.
Ugh.
That is, it's nicer to call somebody a 30% free throw shooter.
N'Faly, I'm so sorry. We are rooting for you, I swear.
We'll get to this in our player comp videos. But I like if he stays healthy, I'd like him a lot.
Okay, there's a good plug. Go watch the player comp video. Thanks for watching this one. We have 74 more scouting reports up for every player in this NBA draft class. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.